Welcome to the FVCFFFFS
episode 5, right?
Cinco de Mayo.
Cinco de Octubre.
It's actually the 9th of October.
Well, yeah, but it's the 5th episode and it's in October.
It is late and we're tired. It's been a long week, so let's quickly get to our quick question. And our quick question is,
what is the funniest thing that you have ever seen happen in church?
There's so many things coming to our mind.
I know, it's great. And I mean, you can have some good stuff. Okay?
Go ahead.
Since this isn't the most awkward thing we've ever seen happen in church, I won't tell that story. But the funniest thing that I've ever seen happen, that'll be next week's quick question. So one of the funniest things I ever saw in church, okay, was I grew up in kind of a charismatic church where we did a lot of prayer meetings and gathering up at the front of the church and praying and laying hands on people and everything. Well, we were getting together up front and we were all praying, and all of the kids in our church, the kids didn't go to kids' church. The kids were staying in church.
I was
and
there.
You were with the adults.
I was in the same church.
And so we were up front and we were all praying. And one of our friends.
We went to the same church. You were in Illinois. I was in Minnesota, but the same church.
I was up front, and one of our friends' little brothers, he was maybe 4 or 5 at the time, we were all sitting around, and it's in that moment before you're praying where you're thinking about praying, and he rips the biggest fart that any of us have ever heard, and he's sitting on his dad's lap, and his dad jumps and almost drops him off his lap. Oh my gosh, that was hilarious. One of the funniest things I've ever seen in church.
I've got 2 things that come to mind.
Okay.
One is not as good of a story, but your story reminded me of something else. So it was the same thing. It was Sunday night church, and a lot of music, a little bit of preaching, and a lot of prayer time. Yep. But this one night, everybody was very excited and celebrating and fun, and I don't know, must have been talking about something positive at church or something that night. So, and we were it was a bigger church. There were like 700-800 people in our church. And so even on Sunday night, there's a ton of people there. But in my mind, it was 50 women in the front. Yeah. But they were arm in arm. Put your arm in here.
Yeah, like this.
And they were kicking, like dancing, like not Lord of the Dance stuff, but they were arm in arm.
Like the Rockettes?
Yes, it was 50 women. No, you can put your arm down now. This
at church?
But this was them, and it was they were like in sync. They all did their left leg and then their right leg, and the whole thing it was like a whole line, but it would wave, like the left side would go in and the right side would go out, and all these women, but you gotta remember this, the 80s in church, so all of their dresses were like ankle length, and it wasn't like anything weird or freaky like that, but seriously, I have this memory from when I'm in elementary school of like 50, a chorus line of women up front in church, and they were all dancing and kicking at the same, like the right leg at the same, 50 right legs, 50 left legs. It was weird.
Wow.
But that's not even the best one, because you told that heart story.
Uh-huh.
So I was in elementary school, and my pastor was preaching, and he used to be a missionary to Africa. So he was telling this amazing illustration, and he brought up the dung beetle. Okay, and a dung beetle, they get dung and they roll it up and they use it for different things like this. But he wasn't sure everybody understood what dung was.
Oh, really? Okay.
So it's church. He's talking about the dung beetle, and he's like, "Do you know what dung is?" And I don't know if people said no or not, but he just
everybody was like, "No."
Well, this thing, we lived in a town called Farmington, so a lot of farmers.
Oh, sure.
I think they would understand what he's talking about. Yeah. But my pastor was there, and I'm in elementary school. I'm sitting in church looking at him, and he's preaching, and he goes, "Dung, poop, crapola." And I'm sitting there in church, I'm like, is he supposed to say stuff like that? Because I would get in trouble if we said crap in our house.
Yeah, the crap, maybe not.
You know what my dad called a fart, though? We weren't allowed to say fart.
Really?
He said, call it a Wendy.
A Wendy?
I don't know where he got that from. But that's what he said. So when
Wow.
my pastor said dung, I'm not sure I knew what dung was.
Yeah.
But he said poop, and I knew what that was.
Yeah.
And then he said crapple. I'm like,
Wow.
what are you
Yeah, I
talking
know.
about?
Only
But,
only
you know,
a missionary could get away
but
with
it's-
that.
But
at
he
church,
was
yeah.
a missionary, but then he became our pastor.
Okay.
And he's up there speaking, and he just says crap in
Good.
church, and I'm just like, I don't think you're allowed to do that, even in elementary school.
I like it. We
I
had
don't know what's-
we had a couple. We would have testimony nights. Did you ever have that? When we have testimony night, and we had this one guy come up who was. I mean, he got saved, but he was a little rough around the edges. And the first thing he got up there is he took the microphone and he goes, "Well, shit," and we were all like, "So that's how you start off the testimony? Wow!"
So this whole
But
video
anyway,
is just about cursing in church.
Anyway, okay.
So make sure you curse in church a lot, apparently.
No doubt. On to the fantasy football. We're going to take the same approach that we did last week, where we talk about the matchup, we talk a little bit about what happened in the matchup, and then we will assign some awards. So,
Hold on, I gotta catch my breath.
I'm going to take the first matchup, and you're going to take the second matchup, okay? So I'll talk this first one, and you'll take
Okay.
the second one, okay?
Sounds good.
So this first matchup was between Noob Nation, Brian, and the fitness consigliere, Judah. And Brian, I lost track there. Brian scored 185 points this week compared to Judah's 122.5 points, which brings Brian up to a record of 2-3 and drops Judah to a record of 1-4. So for our first award in this matchup, it goes to Brian, and with 185 points, one of the highest scores I've ever seen, he gets the Juggernaut Award. Congratulations, Brian. He goes from scoring about 40 points
He
the
had
week
40
before.
points last
40
week.
points to scoring 185 points. And a couple of his Vikings finally showed up. Had a great score from Aaron Jones, 46 points for
The
Aaron
Juggernaut
Jones.
is talking, not
And
Aaron.
the weird thing is, in a week where Aaron Jones scores 46 points, he isn't even the stud, which we'll get to later. So for the other award in this matchup, obviously it goes to Judah. And his award for this week is the
I'm almost there.
Defense Award. And this week, his defense was, surprisingly, the 49ers, who've been really good this year, and they scored 19 points with 4 sacks, 2 interceptions, and 2 fumbles. Got him some good points, which he needed this week because he started Greg Olson, who posted a goose egg for him, but still couldn't pull off the win. And even if he started a tight end, he still would have been destroyed by Brian. So it didn't matter after all.
Even if he started to tight end.
So,
All right, before we get to our next matchup, last week I wasn't able to give you a
I
present.
thought you were going to do an advertisement there. Before we get to I was like, boy, we're sponsored by someone?
We're sponsored.
Wow.
Who would we be? That could be our quick question next week. Who would sponsor
Right.
us?
Who would
But
be-
this week I got you a present.
Okay.
You've had a hard week, doing a
I
lot of
have.
sighting last
Yes.
week and this week, and been really busy.
Yep.
So I got you a frozen
Oh,
pizza.
congratulations. Thank you.
You sound like how you congratulated me for getting you a pizza.
Oh, I did say. I meant.
You
I
said,
said congratulations.
"Congratulations!"
Boy, it's getting late.
It's only quarter after
That's
11.
actually almost
it's
exactly
been a
like the
long
one I
day.
just ate before we started.
I know what's going on.
show,
I
so-
know what you like.
Nice work. All right, next matchup. You take over.
There's so many wrong things going through my head right now. But our next matchup was between me and my friend Randy, who co-runs the team. You call him Dr. Jones Doll.
Yeah.
And that is my new team name.
I thought that was an odd one, but I understand that
It's
it came
an amazing one.
It came from the movie, so.
And I was playing against Andy and Minshew's Mustache. That's not even original like mine is.
But there's power in the mustache.
But here's the problem. Andy won.
Yeah.
Got 138.84 points. I lost 97.26 points.
You were trying for the caboose, but didn't quite get there, which we'll get to later.
So Andy now sorry. I'm not going to make it today. Andy's now 3-2, and he's on top of my division. And I'm only 2-3. I'm only one game behind. Had I won, I would have been contending for the top. But no, that stinks. But anyways, so the award I got for this week is... I got the Hardly Working Award, and here is why. I'm going to start it off here with my running back. Joe Mixon, 11 points. Hardly working. David Montgomery, my other running back, 10 points. Hardly working. My namesake of my team, my new team name, Dr. Jones.
Yes.
Julio Jones, 5.7 points. Hardly working.
That's rough.
I got Travis Kelce, supposedly the best tight end. 9 points.
Hardly working.
I mean, it was just a horrible, horrible week for me. Everything was just like,
yeah.
My whole team.
Yeah.
Where's the hand part? My whole team was like,
we could have just as easily given you the Matt award. But we didn't because it kind of works with the other award.
Because Andy gets the Working Hard Award because his team, and opposite of mine, was actually working hard and did a good job. So here we go. His quarterback, Pat Mahomes, didn't have the greatest week, but still 19.5 points. Le'Veon Bell, so both of them working hard. Le'Veon Bell, 12.3, so he was working hard. He had Hollywood Brown, 9.7, still working hard. He had, now here we go. We're going to really get into his working hard. Allen Robinson?
Yes, Allen Robinson. Yeah, the Bears.
I forget his first name for some reason.
No, you're right.
25.2 points, really working hard. He had Leonard Fournette, 22.7 points, working hard. Now, here's the worst thing of all. We all know Andy is a huge Jaguars fan.
Yeah.
And Nick Foles got hurt, and we all ridiculed him for it. But Andy has DJ Chark.
Chark.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I just get Baby Shark whenever
DJ Chark, DJ Chark.
33.4 points, working hard. His team put in the points. He got 138 points.
Yeah,
a lot of weeks that would be
and Fournette 22. You didn't even mention Fournette.
Actually, I did do that.
You didn't mention Fournette.
We can rewind the tape.
We'll rewind the tape later.
You guys know I did it right.
Alrighty, for our next matchup, we have Nathan, the briefcase, versus Jeremiah with 11 Stranger Things. Had a little tickle in my throat there. And so, what we wound up with this week is Jeremiah winning the week with 122.72 points versus Nathan's 106.66. 666. Nathan. No, anyway. So Nathan drops to 2-3. Jeremiah improves to 3-2. So the battle for mediocrity reigns here in this one.
I think our whole league is mediocre, except for
a lot of mediocrity in this one, except for those of us who just plain stink. But anyway, for Nathan this week, we're giving him the Gutsiest Start Award. And it was a very... Wow, that's a long one.
I was trying to get to stop. I missed the pause button.
That is a very gutsy start because he started Julian Edelman, who tends to be a little bit hurt from time to time. He was injured, and we weren't sure whether he was going to play this week, but he played him, and he has his biggest week of the year with 22 points. So gutsy there. But along with the gutsy start, he also had a bit of a head scratcher. Because Nelson Aguilar, the only reason you were starting Nelson Aguilar before was because all the other receivers on the team were out, and he started him this week, and he scores a whopping 2.5 points. So the pair of those things, sometimes when you're gutsy, it works out, sometimes it doesn't. For Jeremiah, his award this week is the Praise the Lord Award. Because he played Nathan, and Nathan only scored 106 points, Jeremiah didn't have a fantastic week, but enough to pull off the win.
That just reminded me that our quick question was all about swearing in church again anyway.
Yeah, right, yeah. McCoy didn't have a good week, but he got a great week from Michael Thomas, 36 points, 25 points from Prescott. So praise the Lord, Jeremiah, you pulled that one off.
Our next matchup is Stylish Gambino, Rick Shunk against Pack of Badgers, Dave Smith. And Dave, the crazy team winner, like all the time, big jerk. And so Dave actually won, but here's the thing, is 148.3 points, and Rick got 138.6, so less than 10 points difference. So Dave improves to 5-0, the big jerk. And then Rick, unfortunately, he lost. He's back to 2-3 when he should be way better than that. So Dave this week gets the...
Welcome back. Your dreams were your ticket out.
I want you to know that of all the awards in the Shilp household, this is the favorite one.
Yep,
both
that's our
Aaron
favorite.
and Abby and Isaac.
Yep.
But Dave gets welcomed back, not because we're welcoming his team back, because he's 5-0, but he's got two players who did amazingly well this week who hadn't been doing well at all. George Kittle hadn't been doing a lot. Well, he's
finally showed up
last week, but hadn't been doing a lot. But he got 17.8, so 18 points, 70 yards receiving, a touchdown, and 18 rushing yards from the tight end. Plus, he gets it twice as a double welcome back.
Drop the rock to the tight end.
To Philip Lindsay, who got 23.7. He'd been kind of met all year, but he got 114 yards rushing, a touchdown, 33 yards receiving. So welcome back, George Kittle, Philip Lindsay, because Dave's team needed some players to start
he needed
showing
some players to show up, yeah.
Now, the unfortunate thing for Rick is... he got the biggest loser award because he had the biggest amount of points and still lost. Yeah. Because Rick's team is actually really good and he's been doing well. He's just been having some bad luck this past week. But he had Deshaun Watson, 43, almost 44 points. He had Christian McCaffrey, 45.7.
Wow.
So you would think with all those points he would win. That's like 90 points, just those two
players with over 40 points.
Marlon Mack did well. Jarvis Landry almost 10. A lot of his other guys didn't show up a lot, but he still had an amazing week.
His team was a tale of two cities. One city did really well, and the other city didn't do so well. So,
okay.
What?
It's your turn.
No.
You've got the next matchup. What is a tale of two cities? I get there's two separate things here, but that is Paris and London. We read the book in high school, but it's not like one city crumbled to the ground or something like that.
Yeah, I took a little creative.
It's about twin guys and love and stuff.
I mean, how many? Let us know in the comments if you've ever read A Tale of Two Cities. Right?
Let us know if you cared for his
analogy, if that was a terrible analogy or not.
It was.
All right, so the last matchup is myself and Ryan. Sorry, I got lost there. It was myself and Ryan.
You don't know who you played against this week?
I lost track for a second. It was
You've
myself.
been out in the sun a little bit too much this week. Baked your brain.
The Adams Warlocks versus Saquon versus the Machine. And unfortunately, Ryan pulled this one off. 127.12 points versus my measly 93.84 points. My team's goal is to lose all of the rest of the games for the rest of this year and make me stop caring about fantasy football. So we're on it's a good start. So they're doing a good job with that. But anyway, Ryan improves to 4-1. I dropped to 1-4, the worst record in the league. So congratulations to me for that. And Ryan's award for this week is actually, the first one is the Stud Award. And it goes to Will Fuller, 48.7 points.
That's a lot of points.
217 receiving yards and 3 receiving touchdowns. Also, honorable mention to Amari Cooper even with 36 points on his team. Now, that being said, he also gets the Bust Award. And this is an interesting combination for somebody to have the highest scoring player and the lowest scoring player in their lineup at the same time. Mike Evans Mike Evans scores a goose egg, 0 total points, and O.J. Howard scores 1.5 points. But thankfully, he got a lot from Will Fuller and Amari Cooper to offset that. For myself, I, as expected, get the Caboose Award for the lowest points of the league this week. And it's a very proud moment for me
You should be proud.
I had extremely poor performances from everyone on my team. So I was getting a little irritated that some of my players were actually posting good weeks. So thankfully this week none of them did. And I'm going to essentially just start a blank lineup this next week because I'll have just as much chance of winning if I do that as I do if I start any of the losers on my current team.
Here's the thing. Randy is trying to help me run my team as well.
Yes.
You know how Jay Gruden got fired this week from the Redskins?
Right.
I think Randy might be firing me at some point.
That's
this
true.
week.
Randy, you want a team? You can take either one. Take your pick.
Because we're both horrible.
You know?
I'm
take
at
your
2
pick.
and 3, and you're at 1 and 4. I don't think he would want either of our teams.
Probably neither of those would be worth it.
Before we go, while we would love for you to share some of your funny stories that you've seen in church, this is a disclaimer. We do not condone nor participate in swearing in church.
No, we do not.
So we might in your basement from time to time because we irritate each other a whole lot. But other than that, don't be.
We also don't condone farting loudly in church.
Especially if you're sitting on your dad's
Correct.
lap on a
Do not sit on your dad's lap and fart. That's
Can
rude.
you imagine?
That's rude.
Can you imagine next time your dad comes to visit and you sit on his lap and just rip it?
That'd be weird enough to sit on your dad's lap at 40? No.
I'm saying it's good.
That's terrible.
I'm just saying that's a hilarious image. So,
it's funny.
as we leave, imagining yourself sitting on your dad's lap in church and totally
Why
ripping
am I
it.
telling you to imagine that?
'Cause it's
Anyway,
hilarious.
and that's all we've got for tonight, so we will see you next time.
I'm just syncing it up. UE Mega Boom.
Gosh, that is so loud. I took it down a little bit there.
So here's just I'm spitballing here. I'm the assistant to the regional writer. I'm not even the assistant to the writing staff. I'm below Jen when it comes to writing here.
Your favorite year of Gibson guitars?
This year?
Like 55 or 54? I'm a 54 guy myself. But
I don't know if that's gonna work.
I'm teasing. We're not doing that.
My brother in elementary school got a perm.
Oh wow!
I think he was like a 5th grader.
The boys in Isaac's class,
They do
the
that?
East boys, have perms. What are you doing?